What's going on, my PT peeps and my Walking Dead family? Welcome to the PT channel. I'm One Eye Bry, also known as PT, and I'm back to talk about The Walking Dead, a discussion debate topic. Now, first and foremost, some spoiler warning for sure, but I want to make the point known that this is not an argument or a reason to fight. People on the internet and YouTube love to fight about every little thing possible. This is a fun discussion. There's no right or wrong answer here, but spoiler warning for The Walking Dead TV show. Now, first and foremost, I love both of these guys. My favorite character is Michonne. She's not here, but I love her too. Daryl and Rick are brothers. They have a bromance, that's for sure. They love each other on the show and in real life. But I'm going to make the argument that Daryl and not Rick is actually the more important character for the show. Now, that being said, the comic, there is no Daryl Dixon, so there's no argument there. And Daryl and Rick have come a long way since season 1 to season 9. But without Daryl, you wouldn't have the Dixon brothers, which was interesting. You might have Merle Dixon, but the fact that he has a brother and we have the Dixon brothers. And the word is that Daryl Dixon was initially going to be killed off in the first season of The Walking Dead. And thankfully he wasn't, because Norman Reedus has blossomed into a big part, if not the biggest part of the show. The Dixon brothers are great. The story of how Daryl was like Merle and now he's changed. He's definitely a different character from way back when. Also the dynamic of Daryl and Carol. That's a great dynamic for the show that wouldn't be there without Daryl and has no bearing on Rick. Daryl and Carol are awesome. Also the fact that Daryl has introduced and connected and been a big part of a lot of other characters' introduction, like Dwight, Jesus, and others, is pretty interesting and doesn't really have a bearing on Rick. Daryl is a standalone character, and to be honest, Daryl could have his own show. He's a lone wolf, and he has had some big moments on the show that had no bearing on Rick. Rick is Rick. He's the leader. Daryl's like the vice president, vice principal, second man in charge, his right-hand man. And yes, the show relies on Daryl a lot. But again, that shows his importance. Without Daryl, a lot of things would be different. Rick is essential. I'm not saying that by any means. But if you take Daryl away, the story is drastically different. When in doubt, give it to Daryl is the motto as of late, in my opinion, because they've given him so much. The fact that he's on a motorcycle and no one else is pretty interesting. He led the walkers away. He was connected with so many storylines that were connected with Rick and without Rick. And if you go back and watch the previous seasons, you see a lot of great moments. And as of season 9, Daryl is really the face of The Walking Dead, in my opinion. Some people say Rick, but how can you be the face if you're gone? Daryl has had a lot of big moments. The rocket launcher, the motorcycle, the Cherokee Rose, looking for Sophia, doing a lot of things. It's been great over the seasons. So many seasons. The Claimers, Terminus, Rick. So many things have happened with Daryl in the storyline, shows his importance. And yes, he's done a lot of crazy things, irrational things, and terrible things. And a lot of people believe that he got Glenn killed. And I'm one of those people that can understand that. But he's also done some big moments. He took out Dale and has been asked to do a lot of the dirty work. Without Daryl there, who does this? Maybe Shane, maybe Rick, but what about this whole situation? It was sad. It was sad seeing Daryl see zombified Merle, and he had to take out Merle. It was a sad moment. And I'm one of the people that likes Daryl more than Rick. And trust me, I love Rick. My top 3 are Michonne, Daryl, and Rick. So it's hard to quantify someone's better than the other, but I just feel like Daryl does more for the show and has done a lot of big moments. With that being said, a lot of people hate Daryl because a lot of people love him, and there's a lot of connections with Daryl and Rick, Daryl's storyline and Rick's storyline, and they've done a couple things here. This shot-for-shot example of the arrow in Daryl's side and the piece of rebar in Rick's side is pretty spot on. But Daryl has always been there for Rick. Well, not always, but as of late, he's really been there for him. And the fact that Daryl is going to be the face of the franchise because Rick is gone and cannot be the face of the franchise if you're gone from season 9, episode 5, shows a huge importance on Daryl. And Daryl has been in more episodes than Rick now, and will, because Daryl is going to be on the show probably to the end. He's going to be probably the last man standing. And when in doubt, give it to Daryl, is my motto for the way the show is. They gave all the storyline with Alpha basically to Daryl. And in the comics, it goes to Rick and Maggie. Well, Maggie's not there, so we'll have to see what happens if she comes back around. I really hope she does, but Daryl is pretty important for the show. And in my opinion, he's more important than Rick, especially for the longevity of the series. Do you want a season 11 and a season 12? Do you want to see a connecting point with the movies and Rick? And I definitely feel that Daryl and Carol are going to be the franchise leads to the end. Daryl will have a connecting point with the Whispers, maybe the Commonwealth, maybe whatever they want to do with the story going forward. Daryl is the lead, in my opinion, for sure, especially with the fact that Michonne's going to be gone after this season. Who's going to continue to carry the show? Daryl. So the fact that Daryl has come a long way from season 1, season 2, he was a far different character, and he's done some big moments. So the fact that we got to see change over time, he started one way, he's this type of character now, he's had a story arc of ups and downs and highs and lows and big moments there too, have shown his importance and great story arc for the show. And granted, he's done some crazy things, but that's the writing of the show. So I feel like Daryl is more important on the show. Let me know your thoughts, post your comments below. Please hit that subscribe button to join our PT channel Walking Dead family and help us achieve our goal of 100,000 subscribers, and we can't do it without you guys. And for those interested in a great zombie apocalypse book series, that's my book series right there, titled Fight For Us, available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. We got paperback and digital versions. And remember, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself, you can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories, staying true to yourself, and as always, tell them, Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys. Honestly, thank you.